Hello, my curious souls. Welcome in or welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Amanda, welcoming you to Wandering Soul Tarot. Thank you for being here and sharing your time and energy with me today. Today's reading is going to be a mystery message from Spirit, and this will be a message that you need to hear the most right now. And today we have 4 soul paths for you to choose from. They will be shorter in nature because we have an additional pile today. And as always with these readings and the messages within them, to please trust your intuition and decide what feels best and lovingly leave the rest. So if you feel ready to dive into your reading, the timestamps for each one of these soul paths is in the description box. However, for those who would like an official introduction to the soul paths, let me do that now. For soul path 1, we have the aquamarine stone. For soul path 2, we have the fluorite stone. For soul path 3, we have the mookaite jasper stone. And for soul path 4, we have the lepidolite stone. So use your intuition now to choose the soul path that is calling to you the most and head down into the description box to find the timestamp for your soul path to head straight into your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, soul path 1. Welcome into your reading. You chose the aquamarine stone, and we will open the reading up by getting a theme card, which we'll touch on a little bit of what the mystery message will be about, and then we will draw more oracle cards and clarify with tarot. So for soul path 1, this is part of your reading today, which is Believe in Miracles. I'm only going to read the title at the top, although I will look at the title of the card, which is Future Self. So I feel like this message is coming from your future self, your higher self. The self that has achieved something, accomplished something, possibly miraculous. You may be feeling in a place where you cannot see that anything will change. There's a feeling of stuckness, like things will always be this way. And there's a surprise that I feel that Spirit has for you. Possibly even a miracle or a shift that you don't see coming. So I'm curious to know what that might be now. Let's get a couple more oracle cards and then we will get into the tarot for soul path 1. What is this mystery message about? What is this Believe in Miracles? Believe in Miracles for soul path 1. What is the miracle? Okay, wow. It's powerful, whatever it is. Ah, did I not just say it was powerful? All right, so we have courage, strength, fierceness, and family. So this miracle could have something to do, or this blessing, or this something that's coming in, I feel has to do with the strength and the fierceness that you have embodied and the courage you have had needed to muster in order to move through something interesting, move through something big in your life, quite challenging. And I did say move something. So there could be something that you're trying to move out of your life or around in your life to, I'm not quite sure, to adjust something, to rearrange something. I have a feeling it could have something to do with your family, or I'm seeing like a lion's pride of the familial ties within the family. And then we have summoning power, instinct, intellect, and control. So I feel this does have something to do with intimate connections with people within your immediate family. And that doesn't necessarily have to be genetic. That could be your chosen family as well. But we do have the number 2, and that has to do with choices, possible indecision of things that you have to make decisions on. I'm getting 2 of Swords energy, but I'm also getting a coming together of 2 people. So this could have something to do with your relationship, with somebody within that family unit, within romantic partnerships, and or within self. So apply that how it resonates. We do have the number 4 here, which is a duplication of that 2. So there's an expansive energy or 2 different sets of families coming together maybe. I also, and with the wolves, I'm getting wolf pack. So we have Lion's Pride and Wolf Pack. So there's 2, I don't want to say enemies, but there are 2 different types of packs coming together here. And I wonder and I hope that this is in harmony. But there's a summoning of power and there's a courageousness here. So there's definitely a lot of really strong energy that is around you at this time as you move towards something that you wish to achieve or see accomplished within your personal life or within your family. Now, you could be distanced from them as well. So if you are a distance from them, this could be a coming together or a homecoming. If that resonates with you and that's something that you're desiring, this is your confirmation that that is a possibility. I'm just seeing if I can see anything else in these cards that are standing out. I do feel like there's somebody in the collective that has some sort of intuition about something as well, that you are feeling something. I'm getting a lot of pressure on my head at this time between my temples or around my temple area. So there's a pressure for something. There's a maybe a knowing or a knowing that something is happening but not sure when. And I also feel that there has been some challenge that you've really had to push through, move through, navigate. Very dense energies. So somebody could be dealing with an illness in the family or a death in the family, and that's been quite difficult for you to move through and navigate. There could be a move closer to a family member as well. So let's get some more messages here and see what this is all about. More details about this spirit. What is this mystery and message? What else do you have to say for Soul Path 1 and for Soul Path 1? More information, please. Okay. So, okay. A lot of reversals here, and we do have some sorrow energy here at the bottom of the deck with the 5 of Cups. So there is a broken well here and the water is leaking out. So this could be a drain of energy. This could be an overwhelm of emotion. This could be a moving through and a needing to have courage for something that has been emotionally overwhelming or challenging to get through. And that's why I feel this energy has been, it's been around for quite some time. And I feel this is Spirit's message for somebody that is clarifying that this is the time for courage. This is the time to summon all the power you have for one last push, is what I'm hearing. There's something on the horizon. And with the 8 of Swords in the reverse, I do feel like there's a darkness that is lifting and something is being illuminated in this process. This could be a removal of negative self-talk or negative patterns or cycles that you have experienced, and those are being replaced with something that is a little more optimistic and positive. So pay attention to those at this time. This is also indicative of mental strength and possibly having that return, as well as a mental health healing. There could also be a situation that you've moved through in the past some time ago that is still currently in your present. So it is informing your decisions and your movements, your actions moving forward. It is almost affecting your future because this hasn't been officially released and let go. So the 8 of Swords is kind of that encouragement to look at that and let that go and not be a prisoner to that thinking anymore. That could have something to do with a lack mindset or a lack mentality. And then we have the 10 of Wands. I feel this situation and your experience in it has felt quite burdensome, which is what you're moving away from. And maybe that's the space that I was feeling earlier. There's more relief here, possibly due to the natural end of things or by the release of this situation on your own terms. There is a possibility this has already ended and you're still dealing with the outfall and effects of it. This also indicates you could have chosen to end something because it was too burdensome. This could have been quite a difficult and painful thing that you have experienced, which is why you are still moving through the emotions of it, why you're still moving through some of the feelings. The feelings are still there, and possibly that is what is keeping you stuck in a bit of a cycle and preventing you from moving on, is because this hasn't been accepted and let go of yet in an official or spiritual capacity. There's an energetic weight to it, and I feel that part of the guidance here is that it's time to officially let that go in the most loving and compassionate way possible, to relieve that burden off yourself, because there is nothing that you could have done any differently. There's nothing that you can do any differently. So it's time to relieve the burden from yourself, because I feel you have carried the weight of this for some time, which is maybe why there has been such a call for courage and power, because this isn't easy. This isn't something that you can just snap your fingers and let go of. So it is about taking that mindful step forward of doing things a little bit at a time and offering yourself a lot of compassion, offering yourself a lot of love, and offering yourself the space to hold space for what it is you're hanging on to and why. There is an attachment and a reason for this hanging on. And just because we've officially let something go doesn't mean that we can't hold it in a loving way, that we can't think of it in a way that no longer burdens us. So I feel you're carrying around a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, and possibly even some regret. So all of those energies that have resulted in this possible painful ending or this challenge that you've moved through is still hanging out in your energy center. And it's time to, not necessarily to forget, but to forgive yourself and to release any of the guilt and the shame that you're carrying. I feel like this is really big, heavy, dense energy, so it's not going to be easy, and I don't feel it has been up to this point. Now, we do have the Fool in the reverse, which I feel is all about looking into the future, to look forward rather than back, and to be open to the possibilities of something new entering, new feelings, new thoughts, new inspirations, of having a new adventure, and experiencing something in a different and more beautiful way. I feel that there has been some growth that has occurred in this space that you are possibly unaware of. It is undetectable to you at this time, but it will be detectable as soon as you start stepping into the new and having new experiences with new people in a new way. So to not step into the new blindly and taking too many risks and doing it without a presence of mind or a mindfulness about this. I feel like this is a very mindful thing that you have to move through, work through every day, and do a little bit each day to unwind and unravel those thought patterns that are keeping you in a loop, that are keeping you stuck, and are weighing heavily on your spirit. Just curious, bottom of the deck here, 7 of Wands. Yeah, there's a giving up energy here underneath the 5 of Cups. And this is feeling like you can't possibly move forward because maybe you have lost somebody and you can't imagine living life without them. So it is mustering up that courage and that strength within you to understand that you have control over your future and you have power that you don't really see at the moment, that I feel you're stepping into. This is power that you have, I feel, put into other people's hands, but this is Spirit's way of bringing that power back, of really focusing on self at this time and looking at where you want to go, what you would like to feel, what you would like to experience, and turning your ship in that direction rather than sitting in the harbor and thinking about the past, of being attached to thoughts and energies of the past that are no longer here. So there's an acceptance that's coming through of the situation or of what happened, and there is a loving compassion coming through for what you have experienced within that situation, and a loving compassion for moving on, and that it's okay to move on. It's okay to live your life. It's okay to be happy and feel blessed. It's okay to feel joy again. This was a really big energy, Soul Path 1. I do hope this resonated and it was helpful to you. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love. Stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome into your reading. You chose the fluorite stone, and we will get a theme card to open the reading, and this will be sort of a baseline for what Spirit wants to talk to you about today and what message you need to hear the most. We'll also grab some oracle cards to clarify and get into the tarot for some more detail. So, you are protected. And I'm only going to read what is face up, although I will consider these other ones as we get into the reading and if they apply. But this is the lucky pig. This feels very magician energy, and it's almost like you make your own luck. And with that intention and using your resources and intentional thoughts, intentional actions, the right actions, take you to a lucky place. If you believe in spirit guides or angels protecting you at this time, then I feel that there is something or someone in your energy that is protecting your way forward and that is guiding you along the way. So stay open to those messages. Stay open to the synchronicities that will confirm that for you. So let's figure out what this is all about. The lucky pig. You are protected. You also could be born in the year of the pig as well. There could be some additional messages in that for you. Or, I don't know, maybe what year is year of the pig? If you know, maybe throw that down in the comments. What is this you are protected about? What is this mystery message about, Spirit? Strongest energies, please. Okay, you are protected. One more. There's a presence coming through as well. So we have harvest, gathering of blessings with the number 44. Could be a significant number. And wings of light, becoming something new. Okay, so there's an energy here of gathering and moving on, a harvesting and a moving on. And so this lucky pig, you are protected, feels like it's in the liminal space between the ending of one season and the beginning of another. And I feel that this cycle is a new cycle for you that you have never experienced before. So it is new, it is unknown, it is something that could be quite light, and also that could come in quite quickly. So you may not be in this liminal space for very long, but I'm getting the feeling that you have come to this space of not being able to get more from where you're at or move to the level that you want to be. I feel like this is almost some kind of end point that you have experienced. And it's now time to try something different, to move on to something new. And it's almost like interesting when I see the wings and the being something new. I'm thinking about It's a Wonderful Life movie, where every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. So I don't know if bells are significant, but there's definitely angelic energies coming through here with the idea of wings, with the idea of flight, and with the phrase, "you are protected." This harvest also makes me feel like you have to look in the present moment for the blessings right in front of you. Because this almost feels like really fast-moving Knight of Swords energy where one thing has ended, you want to quickly jump into the new thing possibly, and at a very fast rate. So it's almost like you're future-looking when you need to be fully present, especially in the transition between one thing and another. And I almost wonder if there's no plan for the future of what's next, but you want to get there. Because there is an unknown, a space of the unknown, a space of possible confusion or mystery, especially when this thing ends. What's next is the question that I'm hearing. And so I feel Spirit is trying to calm a little bit of those nerves, that you are in the midst of becoming something new, and you won't see it until you've completely been immersed in it. So it's not something that just say a job ends and you're waiting to find a new job and then you get an interview and an offer for a new job. It's not that tangible where, okay, I'm in a new job now or I'm in a new role somewhere. This is something that is progressive, something that you build up on. And so I feel that there's some concern about that, which is maybe why you're trying to move forward and move quickly, because you don't know what's happening, what's next, what's on the other side. But understand that you are protected. There is luck on your side. There is angels, if that's something you believe in, that is guiding you and protecting you. So let's get some more information about what this mystery message is all about. Spirit, more details, please. Spirit, more details, please. And this something new, I feel, is going to be a combination of a whole bunch of new. So like I said before, it's not moving from one job to another, although it could be. But I feel this is deeper than that. It's bigger than that. It's more profound than that. And I feel it is layered. Ooh. So we have some energies that are wanting to come out, but not quite committed. So I feel like it's not quite the right time for, see what I mean? This is wild. There's a whole bunch of energies that are wanting to come through, but there's no commitment. So I do feel this is a time for patience. Don't we all love to hear that? And we do have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So there is definitely something new afoot, but it requires a new perspective, a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at something, a new approach. So because this is in the reverse position, I feel like this is a current block. There is some foggy energy surrounding it, and you can't see what that looks like yet. So all the more reason to be in the present. And we have the High Priestess, which is a beautiful energy. We have this inner knowing. I feel like you might have an inner knowing about this, but this is also an exercise in trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting yourself through this process, and understand that you are also protecting you through this. You do have the resources to move through this, even though it is nerve-wracking, stressful, unknown, confusing. And what I'm just noticing is 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, we're getting that progression. It's not where you jump from one thing to another and we're done. This is a progression. And I feel moving through this is going to require a lot of trust, a lot of intuition, and a lot of observation. This is also being open to learning new things as well, taking in that information to see how it feels within the mind, within the spirit, within the body. And the Three of Swords is here. Now, this could be why a speed to the destination is that there are going to be things that are painful along this way. There could be some endings that come to pass because We can't possibly move that into the next chapter, into the next era, especially if we are becoming something new. There is something I feel you will be detaching from, and it kind of has you torn. It has you in a bit of a scattered and shattered place, is what I'm hearing. But don't let this be the catalyst for you staying in the end energy. And I do feel that you have an intuitive knowing about what this end is, but it's difficult to face because it is heartbreak, it is pain, it is sadness, but it's also healing. It is also moving away from something that may no longer be aligned or may no longer be working, even though there's good intentions, even though your hearts were in the right place. I do feel like this could possibly be something that you are attached to. That could be a job, that could be a person, but something that your heart is attached to that could cause quite a bit of, I don't want to say distress, but it's something that you have to move through. Now we do have the Four of Swords at the bottom of this deck, which is a healing after that ending. So to make sure that you're taking that time to find respite, to recover from whatever happens in this liminal space. You are becoming something new, so in that process, your frequency changes, your priorities change, your values change, and because of that, certain things fall out of alignment. I feel like the strongest message coming through is that let these things be okay, and that just because things are ending doesn't mean you did anything wrong, doesn't mean that your intentions are in the wrong place. But this is a natural part of nature. When there's endings, there is naturally new beginnings, and sometimes we can take things with us, sometimes we can't, and we have to detach completely. So this is your liminal space right now, this Four of Swords, is to find the Ace of Swords. Now I do want to find the Four of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith to demonstrate, if you aren't familiar with it, what I'm talking about when it comes to the Four of Swords. It is a person lying down, taking rest, taking pause to reflect and introspect on things, to recover from something that has broken their heart. Here it is. Of course, it's at the very bottom of the deck, almost. And so they are recovering from this Three of Swords energy in a space that offers them healing, quietude, solitude, peace. And they are contemplating and trying to discover what this next sword is, what this new next idea is going to be. And that is the Ace of Swords. So in order to discover this clarity, this truth, to clear the fog, you have to come into this energy of respite and rest, recovery. Now that doesn't mean go for a nap for most of you. That's going to mean take pause. That's going to mean make space for the healing. Make space for the quiet moments to hear your own inner guidance. Make space to think about what is next. This isn't something we need to rush towards. And I know you want to do that. You want to rush beyond this and get to the destination. But the journey is important here, Spirit is telling me. The journey is helping you put things to bed, to let things go, to transform. Without this liminal space, there wouldn't be growth. There wouldn't be this experience of moving to somewhere new. There wouldn't be things to learn along the way. So as you're moving through this ending, allow things to unfold. Don't force, don't rush. Have patience for, there is a lot of sword energy here. So there could possibly be a lot of decisions to make or just simply a lot on the mind. All the more reason to not rush this process because we have to officially accept some things here. and make decisions to finally put things to rest, to move on from things, to process things, to heal from things, maybe even to communicate things, and to really discover our truth of what feels good to us. This is your evolution of becoming something new. So take your time, my dear Soul Path 2. And I did not mean to rhyme, but we're going to run with that. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 2. I do hope this resonated and was helpful for you. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love. Stay curious, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 3. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Mookaite Jasper Stone, and we will open your reading with a theme card, which will kick things off for your mystery message, and then we will get into oracle cards to expand on that, and tarot to get more details. So for Soul Path 3, Spirit, could you open the reading with a theme card? What would you like to share? Don't give up. And we do have the Evil Eye, which is protective energy. So I feel like you could be giving up on something or wanting to give up on something. There's an exhaustive energy coming through of I've tried everything, I've done everything, and even when I do see results or success, getting to that is exhausting. Seeing that, it's like pulling teeth is what I'm hearing. So it's, yeah, there's just a feeling of a real heaviness and just, I want easy from now on. I just want to kind of shut off, turn off, shut out. There's an exhaustive, like your brain is exhausted, your spirit's exhausted. But I feel like Spirit's coming through to talk about that, to not give up. I'm not sure what you're working on here, but it feels like it's pretty big, which is maybe why it's exhaustive, because it's may be requiring more than just the initial effort of doing something or learning something or trying to attain something. This requires a lot of deep spiritual, personal work and possible healing, which is maybe why it's exhausting. So it's not necessarily the thing that you're chasing that is exhausting or that is hard. It is the work that is happening underneath that is adding to that. So interesting message I got there. Let's get some more cards for Soul Path 3. What is this about? Okay, one more for Soul Path 3, please. Expansive energy. Expansive energy. Expansive energy. I do feel like you're expanding though. And more ways than, like I said, this goes deep. All right, so circle of eternal joy, timelessness and dance of life, and idyllic times, the garden and paradise. I feel like this is what you're kind of, where you're kind of going. And we have owls in both of these. I think that's an owl. If not, it's a dove of some kind, or, you know, it's a bird. There's another bird back here. I think it's a raven. We have an owl here. We have a butterfly here. So it's definitely transformative in some regard. And I almost feel like this effort will eventually pay off in ways that are more expansive than you ever imagined. So not only are you going to get the reward of possibly that thing that you're trying to gain or achieve, but there's so much personal and spiritual growth that is happening under the surface. You are stepping into a new world on so many different levels. I'm getting a lot of layers here. I'm being asked to look at the guidebook just for further details. Bear with me. So this is a dove, messenger of hope, and this card speaks to engage in the dance of repetition and rebirth. So again, I feel like you're doing this thing over and over and over again, and on the surface it feels like you're doing the same things and not getting any rewards or not getting as much results as you expected. But you're rebirthing every time. Every time you go through that cycle of that repetition, you're learning more. You are experiencing more. You are growing more, expanding more spiritually, professionally. Each turn of the dance brings opportunities for joy. And this is self-mastery as well, both happiness and self-mastery. Learn what there is to learn, but never forget to let your spirit soar. No matter what you're going through, that you can still find happiness, purpose, and understanding in the dance that is your life. Dancing could be something that could help move some energy, especially when you're feeling drained energetically. So this card is about peace and joy coming your way. It's maybe an unexpected blessing or a long-awaited result of extensive effort on your part. And this is coming from the guidebook, folks. This is a very new deck for me. I haven't looked at any of these cards in the guidebook yet, because I always like to go intuitive first before I'm called to look at the descriptions. And funny that we're talking about long-awaited result of extensive effort. I feel it's coming, Soul Path 3. The butterfly reminds us of the gentle power to become something completely new through the process of metamorphosis. This comes through a lot in my readings. As a caterpillar changes through an internal alchemical process, which we talked about, it experiences intense pressure and difficulty. In time, it emerges from its cocoon as a winged butterfly, having forged the strength to travel thousands of miles in its migration. So again, that expansiveness is coming through, which is why there's a not giving up energy, because the results may not be in tangible form. I feel like, again, this is that alchemical process that's happening in the midst of you being on wash, rinse, repeat. It feels repetitive. It feels like this isn't working, but when you step back to look at things, you are actually transforming. Similarly, the hardships that you've gone through have brought you great value and inner strength, transforming your life and carrying you to a new reality of pleasant experiences and peaceful surroundings. So get ready for this time ahead. Let yourself relax and appreciate the peace and beauty that is coming your way. So you could be going on a trip as well. You could be moving to a new place that feels very beautiful, comfortable. And even if you don't have this energy currently in your life, don't wait for it. Start finding moments in your day to do that. Every moment that you stop to relax and appreciate your natural world, you bring an idyllic time to your life. So I feel like this is coming in a big way, but don't forget in this push to find these moments, to find the dance, the movement, the joy, the paradise. Maybe you garden. That could be a place for you to, I'm hearing, unravel, unfold from the stresses of your day. But just because we're not in paradise yet doesn't mean we can't create little moments in our day for that. So, okay. So one more. What is this message about, Spirit? One more, please. Okay. Okay, we have we've got the King of Wands in reverse, which is this energy of possibly stepping back or stepping down or not having the confidence in your leadership skills or your creativity. Maybe even having a little bit of self-sabotage here. This is you kind of stopping before you get to that end point. And there's a bit of a giving up energy. There could be someone in your life around you as well that is encouraging you to give up. So just be mindful of that. Two of Swords. Yeah, you could be in a bit of an indecision as well. So this could be making you feel like, ooh, should I? Because there could be somebody in your energy field, in your life or community that has maybe done something similar where they've followed their own path, they've followed their inspirations, and it didn't work out for them. So they're putting up the red flags on your behalf, which is having you doubt, which is having you maybe want to give up and change directions. Not a bad thing, but I feel like you're not wanting that. So I feel that's why Spirit's coming through. And if this is an energy where you feel like, I kind of want to give up and do something different, then use your intuition and do what feels best as always. But I feel this message is for the person who is feeling like they should give up but doesn't want to. So Page of Wands, yeah, it's like you feel like you're not experienced enough, like you don't have what it takes because you're still new to this. You're still trying to figure out your style or figure out how to do this. There's a wonder here. You're still in this wonder process, this curious process. There's this feeling of I can't achieve big things because I'm still at the beginning of my journey. Or you don't have enough, so you want to give up because you're almost comparing yourself to somebody else. I'm getting somebody here might be comparing themselves to somebody else, but it's all about your strength here, your confidence, what you know to be true, what paradise you want to create for yourself. This is about you and not anyone else. I do feel like there's some tension here, though. I do feel like there is some tension with somebody in your life, which is having you feeling like you have to make a decision. So they could be giving you an ultimatum, might be quite difficult. You could just be feeling like I have to make a choice, but I don't know how. My intuition is telling me one thing, my logic is telling me another. So how do I make this choice? It's all on what inspires you, what feels good. What lights you up from the inside? And the Strength card too is also about taming the wild instinct. So maybe your instinct is feeling like they want to give up. Like, how is this possible? This is the point where everybody gives up. So I get it. It's been challenging up to this point. So your instinct is telling you one thing and your curious, inspired, willful, ambitious self is telling you something else. But it's kind of taming or quietening the reactivity and coming back to your true heart's desire. Why did you start this in the first place? Where is it that you want to go? This is about you, your dance, your life, your path. This has nothing to do with anyone else. And that's not to say it won't affect others. It very well could. So definitely consider that. But this is your life. I keep hearing this is your life. And to lead with courage, authority, strength, confidence. Because the Leo is the leader of the pack. You must lead. And be confident in knowing that you can acquire this King of Wands energy. It's in your energy already. It's just a matter of you not seeing yourself as a mouse, but seeing yourself as a lion, or a tiger, or a bear. Oh my. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 1. I hope that resonated and was helpful to you. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love. Stay curious, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 4. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the lepidolite stone, and we will get into your cards now straight away. Mystery message for Soul Path 4. And we'll get an opening energy card, and then we will get clarifying oracles as well as tarot for more detail. So we have the money card here. And I'm just going to read the phrase and reference this phrase, whichever one is upright. Go for it. So I feel this is a very encouraging message from Spirit so far. You could be thinking about investing in something regarding a business, regarding something that you would like to, I'm hearing long term. So something for the long term. This could be a home. This could be, a business. This could be a school of, I want to say a school of thought. That is not where I was going with that. a class or a workshop, some kind of personal investment that you are making for your future. And yeah, I feel like this is maybe requiring your time, your energy, and or money, or all of the above. So I feel this is a very encouraging message from Spirit. Obviously, use your discernment when it comes to investing your money in things. Seek professionals and get as much information as you can regarding whatever investment you're considering making to make sure it's the right one. But obviously, if you know that this is something that you want to attain that will help your future, and there's somewhat of a, I want to say a guarantee, then I feel like that's what Spirit is referencing here. So an investment in a course or a workshop that will help you gain skills or knowledge that can then be applied to your job or your business. That would be something that is going to be helpful for your future and expansive. So what else is this message about for Soul Path 4? What is this about for Soul Path 4? All right. Beautiful. Okay. So we have achievement, effort, plus intention. See? We do have a little bit of magician energy here. This is putting your attention, I was going to say intention, but attention kept coming out. So putting your attention on something, but also your intention with that effort of time, energy, money in order to achieve something. So this is very focused energy. It is very, the bison is very, there's a strength here. There's a determination here. There is a lot of will and a lot of ambition here as well. So it's not just about doing things willy-nilly. This is really having a thoughtful, mindful intention for what it is that you are going for. And then we have duality. Many meanings and misunderstanding. So you could have a misunderstanding about yourself as it pertains to this achievement, or when you think about going for something and achieving that thing, there could be some self-limiting beliefs that come in and say, that's not who you are, you can't attain this, why are you considering that, don't bother. There's a lot of, I feel, limiting beliefs with that you have to break down and kind of say goodbye to. Those are not helpful energies. They are blocks to what it is you are trying to achieve. And also using your intuition and knowledge. So it's not only the logical knowledge, but also the intuitive knowledge that you know, to have that divine feminine, divine masculine energies in balance when you make decisions moving forward, as you move towards this thing. So to not discount that divine feminine energy, because this is a lot of divine masculine, of let's go after this thing, we're determined, we have a lot of energy to achieve this, a lot of intention behind it, possibly a lot of resources behind it as well. But we do have to take pause to really consider where it is we're going, why it is we're going there, and is this the next right action for us at this time, which requires that pause and reflective energy, tapping into our intuition, figuring out how it even feels within our body as well. So it's not just that initial instinctual reaction, but also, what does a yes feel like? What does a no feel like? Do we get butterflies when we get that yes? Or do we get a heaviness when we get that no? And kind of checking in that way as well. So let's look at the details for this. What is this mystery message about? Spirit for Soul Path 4. For Soul Path 4. You may also see a lot of obstacles along this pathway too, which is possibly getting you to stop in your tracks before you move forward. So it's almost like the amount of effort this might require or take is having you think twice about it. But I almost feel like it shouldn't, because the time will pass, whether or not you are doing this thing or not, or whether you are working towards this thing or not. Okay, so we've got some big energies here, but we'll first start with the Queen of Swords in reverse. There's definitely a fogginess, or I don't want to say an unwillingness, because there might be, but there's a block to seeing things or taking in information, maybe from a higher perspective, or seeing things from a different point of view, seeing things from beyond your experiences, and tapping into the real truth of the matter. I feel like there's a truth here that is a bit of an illusion that you have to break down, and you have to step into your own truth. There could also be lack of healthy boundaries when it comes to these things, these misunderstandings, or these blocks that are preventing you from moving forward. It could be people, but it could be within our own mind as well, kind of fogging our energy, fogging our thoughts. And we have the Justice in reverse. So there's a bit of imbalance here, and a not wanting to, I want to say, swim upstream. It's like you can see the amount of effort it's going to take to move there, to get to that place of satisfaction, of achievement, of accomplishment, and it just feels like a lot. Now, this could be that you are overwhelmed. So it is, again, with the Justice, it's kind of seeing things from a different point of view. The point of view of maybe a friend. So putting yourself in your friend's shoes, and if you came to them with this exciting thing that you want to go after, but you're kind of having some doubts, what would your friend say, or what would you say to your friend to help them not feel so overwhelmed by this, to help them get clarity? Be that friend for yourself. Be that kind of guidance that I feel is within you that is not being tapped into. And I say that because we have yet another owl and the High Priestess, which is in reverse. And that is not trusting yourself, not trusting your intuition, or maybe even suppressing or downplaying what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you are understanding. And the candle just burnt out. So you could be burnt out from this, or burnt out from something else. So maybe there's a recovery that is required before a moving forward. So going back to that divine masculine of that forward moving energy, I feel like it is going to take a lot of effort. And there's an overwhelm here of how can I possibly do that thing? I know I want to go for it, but I can't. I simply can't. Energetically, mentally, maybe even spiritually, there's an imbalance within your life at this time. And I feel like there is a call to step into an allowing energy, of just allowing things to be, allowing yourself to be, to step into hearing the inner wisdom, to declutter your mind, to get a little more information before you start making decisions, to bring things back into balance. Because I feel like the actions you took prior to this has upturned the apple cart a little bit, energetically speaking. So you can't possibly muster up the strength to go for it, because there's something about the duality, the imbalances within the body, the mind, the spirit that needs to be corrected. There's a course correction happening here within self. And I feel healthier boundaries are sort of the first step to that, to put up boundaries of what it is you are willing to participate in, what you are willing to help with, what you are willing to take on, what you are willing to say yes and no to. And part of the Queen of Swords is kind of interesting with the Justice, because the Justice has a very unbiased opinion. This is consequences for action. This is cause and effect. This is making decisions and having all of the facts before making that decision. And the Queen of Swords is very good at that. The Queen of Swords observes everything around her, takes all of the facts in, all of the information before making a decision. And I feel like that can't possibly be done because there is no room left to absorb anything, if that makes any sense. So It's about really kind of taking a step back is the biggest feeling. And then we have the Tower card underneath the deck here, bottom deck energy. And that is definitely something that I feel is underlying, is that there needs to be space. We need to make space for the new things. And I feel there is no space for something right now. There is no room to absorb or experience anything new that is going to be a big achievement, because there is no energy left. There is no mental capacity at this time. And I'm not sure why, but there is a feeling that something needs to change in your life in order to restore that. And I don't know in what capacity. It could be you pushing too hard, and that pushing too hard and that working too hard and that pushing for the next goal is really preventing you from being in the present and seeing things from a really clear point of view, having a high vantage point, or seeing things from a distance, having that perspective. So everything's foggy and you're just moving because that's what you've always done. Productivity is what I'm getting. And when you're overproductive, it doesn't create space. And especially if you're drained, it really depletes us. So we're forced to come into this energy of making room for recovery, making room for clear thought, making room for that internal wisdom to come forward, making room for things to come back right again before we take action. Because if we take action in this place of only having one wheel, we're going to end up in a very different place than if we are on solid ground with two, solid wheels. And I don't know why that metaphor. I'm seeing a wagon with one wonky wheel and either not getting there as fast or completely veering off course and falling over. So we want to make sure that everything is in balance here. And I feel like this Tower energy is you really understanding that and coming to terms with what needs to be done, what is needed at this time, and to cut everything out that doesn't necessarily aid you in this journey. I feel this is real assessment. What's really going on and why, and what kind of changes do I need to make within self in order to shift things a bit so that I feel better, so that I do have capacity to go for something here. And it's interesting, these two characters are looking forward to the future, and this queen is looking to the past, as well as this. Both owls are looking to the past. So your internal wisdom is being pulled into the past, whereas you are being projected into the future. You want to look to the future, but there's something in the past that I feel needs to be addressed, or that is kind of drawing your attention back. And it's interesting that we're coming back to that attention word, because I mentioned it at the very beginning when I tried to read this card. So I feel like your attention is in the wrong place at this time. So it's time to come back to the present, to really assess what's happening in this moment and what is it that I need to do to restore, correct, adjust, etc. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 4. I hope that resonated and was helpful to you. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love. Stay curious, and we'll see you in your next reading.